So we may have a few other people that may come in. Of course, they're always welcome, but we like to start our meetings on time. So with the members that are here, we're going to go ahead and kick off this next meeting of the League City Toastmasters. Okay. So with that, welcome everyone. Welcome Megan. Welcome Alicia. Welcome Elizabeth. Each one of you is a valued and a special guest this morning. Even though you're each members of League City Toastmasters, we value each one of our members and each one of our guests. So I'm glad each one of you are here this morning. We don't have any dignitaries per se. I say that, but we do have Elizabeth Ruiz, and even though she's a paid member of the club, I like to point out that she's also our club coach. She's also a president of 2 other clubs. So she does a lot. And then Elizabeth, what is your new title with District 56? Help me out with that.
Thank you, Toastmaster Livingston. The new area director of P3 is what I acquired as of July 1st. And
okay.
League City happened to be in P3. I was extremely excited about that. They changed July 1st. On the same day I took office of P3, League City left P3, unfortunately. For just a second, League City was in P3.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're the director of P3.
Area director.
Area director, excuse me. Okay.
P3.
That's right. Okay. So we do have a dignitary among us, even though we consider her one of us. So I wanted to point that out to everybody that's here. And today I'm serving in multiple roles: presiding officer, president, and also Toastmaster. And one of the things that I'd like to do is pull up a presentation. I think we've got a little bit of extra time. And I'd like to share this with everyone on the screen. And it's a presentation I send out periodically about Toastmasters. And I think it's a great presentation to help us keep in mind why we're in Toastmasters and what Toastmasters provides as a way of service. And it's a really short presentation. Can you guys all see it on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so about Toastmasters International. We exist to empower individuals to become effective communicators and leaders. A lot of opportunity that in the world today for effective communicators and leaders. Effective in terms of listening and responding, not just commanding and berating or being derogatory. We also provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, which will result in greater self-confidence and growth. Our core values are integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Toastmasters International is a nonprofit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs. We're headquartered in Inglewood, Colorado. Our membership, talking about for the entire club, not just our club, but the entire club worldwide, exceeds 350,000 people. We're in more than 16,000 clubs and in more than 143 countries. And of course today, because of Zoom and some other online platforms, we have an opportunity to have global reach and to have people from Zimbabwe and Uganda or wherever they are to also be a part of a club because of that international reach through the internet. Yes, and since 1924, Toastmasters International has helped people from diverse backgrounds become more confident speakers, communicators, and leaders. So when people join Toastmasters, they can improve their public speaking skills, build leadership skills, maximize their potential, enjoy unlimited personal growth, enjoy networking in a supportive environment, practice writing and presenting speeches, gain a competitive advantage, and build self-confidence and awareness. This next slide showcases our primary development plan, which is called Pathways. It's a flexible, interactive online training to develop your communication and leadership skills. It offers up to 300 unique competencies 11 specialized learning paths, real world transferable skills, and it's available in multiple languages. So the 11 primary tracks are up here. It's dynamic leadership. I won't read through all these, but engaging humor, innovative planning, visionary communication, that's some of them that we have. And then these links down here, when I send this out, you guys can click on this, that goes to videos, and they're really, really good videos about pathways and what is pathways. And that's a really good introduction to Toastmasters. And with that, I like to also mention that recently our club officers completed the club success plan for League City Toastmasters. And the reason that's such a monumental step is that it provides a pathway of progress for us to take steps to provide that quality program of Toastmasters to each one of our members and each one of our prospective members. So thank you everybody for your participation. I know we had several meetings putting that together, but it was not time wasted, it's time well spent. So thank you to everyone for that time.
And thank you to you, Scott.
You bet. My pleasure.
For leading this, you know. And
yes.
Elizabeth, that she's putting a lot of time and knowledge to help us in this.
Yes, she did as a club coach. That's right. And I believe that a lot of our members aren't even a member of this club today. I think a lot of our members that are going to come are going to be new members. And I think that this club success plan is the foundational step, if you will, to prepare for all the new prospective members that are going to come our way. Right. And I mean that fully. Okay, let me go ahead and switch gears. I'm also the Toastmaster this morning, so let me put that hat on. Give me just a second. And it looks like I lost my notes. Okay, excuse me, I got too many pages open on this screen. And it looks like I closed my notes. All right, so the purpose of the Toastmaster is to serve like the MC for the ceremony. So we have our speakers lined up for today. And the role of the Toastmaster is to, if you will, run the meeting and to make sure that we have all the roles filled regarding timer, grammarian, odd counter, ballot counter, evaluator, and so forth. And then at the conclusion of all the speeches, it's the role of the Toastmaster to circle back around and get a report from the timer, the grammarian, the odd counter, the ballot counter, the evaluators, and so forth, and then wrap up the meeting. So with that, if you will, gives you a pretty good summation of what the Toastmaster does. Again, serves like the MC for the meeting. With that, we're going to need a timer. Looks like we're going to need a grammarian. Is there anybody that would like to serve as our timer or grammarian today? And I can help serve one of these roles as well.
Scott, it's Elizabeth. I'll be timer.
Okay. And then grammarian, let's see. I'll tell you what, let me be grammarian because I know Alicia is going to be speaking. Let's see. So as the timer, excuse me, Elizabeth, would you like to talk about the timer and the role of the timer?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Livingston. As the timer, I will be timing everyone's speech from the 3 sections, the PIE, P-I-E, the prepared, the impromptu, as well as the evaluations. And at the end of each PIE, I will give a timer's report. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Okay, thank you. And the grammarian selects and introduces the word of the day, provides a definition and use of a sentence. It explains the role of the grammarian in listening for interesting use of words, phrases, and or grammar. And with that, I was not expecting to be the grammarian, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Outlook and I'm going to pull up the invitation for today, because in the invitation, I have embedded in there all the role information. So let me just pull that up. And this is for anybody else that has the same issue. If you ever need to quickly find something, you can go find it in the invite for the day. So my role as grammarian, again, is to introduce word of the day, encourage it by all participants. Note who uses the word of the day correctly or incorrectly. I will listen to word usage and note any awkward or misuse of the English language, such as incomplete sentences or grammar. And then some of the words, okay, I'm thinking about the ah counter. So that's it about the grammarian. And I would say the word of the day is gregarious.
Gregarious.
Gregarious, yes. And so let me go to dictionary.com. Let me type in gregarious so you'll get a definition from the dictionary and not from me. Gregarious, it means fond of the company of others, sociable, living in flocks or herds. Let's see. So if we say they are gregarious people, or he is a gregarious person, that means that he likes other people, he's sociable, he's easy to get along with. So that's the word of the day, gregarious. And with that, let's go to the ah counter. Would you like to introduce the role of the ah counter, please, Megan?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Livingston. My role as ah counter is to note words and sounds used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks during the meeting. The use of interjections such as and, well, but, so, like, you know, as well as sounds like ah or tongue clicks will be tallied. I will also note double clutches, which are words or phrases that are repeated. These interjections generally disrupt the flow of speech and make the speech less interesting. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Toastmaster. Back to you.
Okay, fantastic, Megan. Okay, ballot counter. Alicia, would you like to introduce that role, please?
My work is to count the votes for the best speaker, the best evaluator, the best speaker for the main speaking, the best speaker for the table topics, and the best evaluator.
Fantastic.
Back to you.
All right. Wow. All right. Great, guys. So we're now going to introduce our first speaker. Our first speaker is going to be Alicia Lamborghini West. The title of her speech is Feminine Drinking Culture.
Yes.
And in her speech, she's going to talk about the feminine drinking culture, and she's going to explain that feminine drinking culture is, quote unquote, normalizing the use and abuse of alcohol among women. With that, Alicia, the podium is yours.
Okay, good morning.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Toastmaster Livingston, do we have an evaluator for Alicia? I don't see it on the agenda. I will do it if not.
Oh,
I understand that Luann was going to be the evaluator today, and she's the one that emailed me and said she wasn't going to make it. So you're right. I don't see her on the agenda, but because she said that was her role, you're right. It looks like Alicia assigned it, but Luann wasn't able to make the meeting. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth.
I'll evaluate Alicia.
And then while we're
evaluate Elizabeth. Yeah.
And while we're at it, excuse me, the general evaluator is Elizabeth. Okay, so Elizabeth, would you please also talk about the role of the general evaluator?
Absolutely. As general evaluator, I will be evaluating from start to finish and everything in between. I will introduce the evaluators, the ah counter, timer, report, and so forth at the end of our 1/3 session, which is evaluation session. Thank you.
Okay, so with that, we have a speaker, we have an evaluator, and Alicia, you're welcome to start your speech. And by all means, take a few seconds to get ready before you jump into it. And as soon as you start talking, I would encourage the timer to start taking time. And please remind me, who's the timer this morning?
Do we have a timer? It's me.
Okay.
I'm also timer, evaluator, and general evaluator.
Yes. Thank you. I wrote down some of these roles, but not that one. Okay, Elizabeth, so you'll be taking the time.
I have a question before I start. My speech is according with the rules 5 to 7 minutes. Can I take a few minutes more because my topic is I was going to divide in 2 speeches, but I can't give the complete thing today. Maybe not.
Well, as I understand it,
Yeah.
and I'll allow Elizabeth to correct me, but as I understand Toastmasters, they have those speeches timed for a reason, because I understand that it's because they want us to learn how to stay within the allowed periods of time. I mean, Elizabeth, what would you say?
To follow protocol,
Right.
we need to stay within our time of 5 to 7 minutes in pathways.
Perfect. Okay, good morning, fellow Toastmasters. I am going to talk today about this topic, a feminine drinking culture, that is part of the series, the complicated relationship between women and alcohol. I already talked about this in a previous speech, that women drinking and men drinking are different. Men drink more in general, of course, linked with positive reinforcement and pleasure. Women drink especially linked with negative mood states. So where did this negative mood state come from? Essentially come from anxiety and depression that are very high in women, according to research. Where does the depression and anxiety come from? And come from a sort of factors essentially linked with pressures. I talked about pressures many times last year because this is the topic of my second book, Your Life, Your Way, Become Aware of Social Pressures Limiting Women. And here I presented all the pressures that make women's lives difficult, because I am going to give the reason at the end of I am going to say, to enumerate the main pressures. One of the pressures is to look beautiful, young, and essentially thin. The second is to be perfect in your personal, professional, or public, professional, social life. To have it all perfect, and do it all. This is tremendous. To have an acceptable partner, or to be married. Here in the States, if you have an acceptable partner, it's okay. In other cultures, you have to get married. And then to have kids, and then not to divorce. Whatever happens, you are stuck there. Another pressure is to consider always the needs and the wishes and the desires of others first, and yours last. At the end of the day, there are little room for your own projects or needs. With all these, life of women are difficult. But all these generate expectation. And expectation, we have to respect expectation because they are really hard. Think about your own life. Think about your own life. If you're expected to respond at this level and you respond short to this level, what happened between here and here? There are a lot of reactions, negative reactions, including abuse, psychological or physical abuse. Not responding to expectation provoking women that they have shame and guilt. Shame is because of me. I am not good enough. And guilt is that I didn't do better, or I didn't do more, so I have guilt. And here comes the female drinking culture that is relaxing. What you did is okay. You deserve this. Your life, your partner, your kids, your job are so hard. You have to have a drink. You need this. You deserve this. And go ahead and have a drink. You don't drink, you have to start drinking, because it is how women these days socialize. Everything social between women themselves include drinking. Every trip, everything, even a baby shower includes alcohol. And you say how pervasive is becoming this culture, and how is normalizing something that is negative. Because alcohol, number one, alcohol is addictive. So with this, I am going to finish this first part of feminine drinking culture. It's the first of three parts of this topic, because it's important. Thank you very much. I appreciate your attention. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, very well done, Alicia. Was that already 5 minutes? My gracious, it doesn't seem like it was that long. I mean, I'm sure it was. It just seemed like it. I enjoyed listening to it, and so the time passed more quickly than I was expecting. So that was very informative. I really enjoyed that. Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you very much.
So today we don't have a second speaker or a third speaker. And I know we're supposed to call for a timer report. And I think we're going to stick close to the agenda. And then after this, we're going to go into table topics. We'll have a little bit of time for that as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to stick to the agenda and then ask for a timer report.
Thank you,
Is that-
Toastmaster
Go ahead.
Livingston.
Is that right? Do we do a timers report now or at the very end?
Well, during
everything?
each section of the pie, after the last speaker, the prepared speeches, we asked for the timer to share if all speakers qualified, which they did. She qualified at 5 minutes and 17 seconds. And we can now vote. Since we only have one speaker, Alicia, there will not be a vote in best speaker. But in my eyes, you are the best speaker, and therefore that's it. But yes, she did qualify. And then after the table topics, you'll call for a timers report to make sure everyone qualified. Why do we do this? For a number of reasons, but the most important is if they don't qualify, then we choose if we want to include them in the voting process. But most importantly, to follow through with staying within time. That's one of the lessons that we learn in Toastmasters, is to make sure that we can follow a time frame. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Okay, back to the agenda. It looks like we're now working on table topics. Does someone have some table topics in mind? I know I've got some in the Outlook invite that I can just pull readily, unless someone has some table topics at the forefront of their mind that they've just been waiting for an opportunity to use them.
No,
I'll tell you what, let me go to Outlook. And again, this is here for a reason, because if we ever need to pull a rabbit out of a hat.
Scott, while you're doing that, may I just suggest I will time 30 seconds. After each speaker, we allow 30 seconds to type private comments to the speaker for comments to her.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, I will time 30 seconds.
And when y'all do the chat, make sure you just send it to Alicia. I know we're running over. I'm still typing. Is everybody ready to go? Okay, we'll go ahead and continue. So I've got some table topics. I think what we will do is we'll start with Megan. And I would say, Megan, pick a number between 1 and 365. Now, I'm presuming you're not looking at the list. So it
I'm
is
not.
going to be, okay, there you go. So it is
I
somewhat
glanced
random.
at it.
That's
Okay,
right. But as long as
100.
you don't say, oh yeah, I remember, I like number 180.
All right, 173.
Okay, now timer, please, would you give us the rules for the table topic time? And then Megan, you said 173?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go look it up. Would you tell us the time, please, Elizabeth?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Livingston. As timer of the day during table topics, I will have a green light for 1 minute, a yellow light for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and a red light for 2 minutes. Thank you.
Megan, topic number 173. What have you done in the last year that makes you proud?
In the last year, I have been working on my Master's of Public Administration. One thing I have done that has made me proud has been excelling in my courses, in spite of sometimes the external difficulties that we've been facing, especially in the past 6 months. We've had a lot of distractions. I've had to shift to working from home. In spite of this, though, I have managed to maintain almost a 4.0 GPA in my courses, and that's made me very proud. I am set to graduate in December, and I'm hoping that if I continue on the trajectory that I am currently on, the only B I will have gotten in this program will be statistics, which I will continue to hate until my last breath. So that is something that I have done that has made me proud. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I took statistics in school. I understand a little bit of what you're talking about. I'm sure it hasn't gotten any easier.
No, it's awful.
All right. Well, thank you. Our next speaker will be Elizabeth. We haven't heard from Elizabeth in terms of speaking this morning. Elizabeth, please choose a number between 1 and 365.
5.
Okay, 5. What life lesson did you learn the hard way?
What a loaded question.
Yeah.
I've learned life the hard way. There is a saying that if you want to hear God laugh, you tell him your plans. And boy, did I have a lot of plans growing up. But of course, as always, plans never follow through like you thought. I've learned life is always putting one foot forward and knowing that it will most likely not end the way you planned, but it's okay as long as you start something and you're open-minded and you have a growth mindset, then everything will be okay. The most important thing of learning life the hard way is the fact that I'm very stubborn. And in my younger years, it took me longer to change course. I wanted to keep pushing and forging forward. And I needed to learn how to quit quicker, sooner than later. And now I have learned that when something isn't working, which is the definition of insanity, if you keep doing the same thing and it's not working, it is complete insanity. You just try something new. And that's what I've learned. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you weren't quite at yellow. I was getting ready to hit yellow when I got out. It's still at green. I think I got started about 15 seconds into it because I realized, hey, wait a minute, you're the timer. So someone's got to time it. Let me turn off this annoying color. The next topic will be Alicia. The next speaker, excuse me. Alicia, let me go to my list. But Alicia, please select a number between 1 and 365.
23.
26.
3.
How?
23.
Oh, 23.
Yes.
You sure? Okay, all right.
Sure. Oh my God.
I don't know, you might like 26 better. Okay, I'm just messing with you. Okay, are you holding on to something that you need to let go of? That's number 23. Are you holding on to something that you need to let go of?
This is a very good question, very appropriate. Yes, I have one thing, and I am making an active fight of that to overcome the thing. And it is several days, like 26 days today, that I am doing that, and I am happy with that because everything needs a work. Everything needs a growing. Everything needs a reflection on our things. And if we don't do that, we start blaming others or blaming the circumstances and having no progress. If we can return to ourselves and say what I can put to overcome this problem or this worry or whatever is the thing, I think we can succeed in that. Everything related with our possibilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia.
Oh, thank you.
Our next speaker, that'll be me. I'm the last one, I believe. I'm going to say 254, and let me go looking for it because I did just randomly select that number. 254. Who impresses you? The people that impress me are the people who are unsung heroes. The people that stay late, that work hard, that don't get awards, that don't get ribbons, that don't get badges, that don't get their names in memorials. Their names are not etched in stone. They don't get recognized. People may not even know who they are. They may not even know their name. And maybe that person is the person that was in a park and picked up trash, or they walked by and saw dog poop and picked up dog poop. Maybe they're the person that flushed the toilet because someone else didn't want to do it. Maybe they're the ones who cleaned the soap off the dispenser in the bathroom. Maybe they're the ones who work late at the office to take care of responsibilities that someone else didn't do and shouldn't have done. And that person who took that effort never got any credit. I call it flying under the radar. It's almost like they're dressed in black and they're walking in a black room. No one can see them. No one recognizes them, but they get things done. That type of person really impresses me. And I think that if we had more people like that in society, you know, what would our society be like? So I am very impressed with people who go out of their way to help others and do things just because it's the right thing to do and because they want to give this back to society. And there's something about it that drives them to to do these right things without seeking recognition. Thank you very much.
Really good.
Yeah, and I forgot to use the word of the day, so rats.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not a very good grammarian today.
You don't. Your audio. Your audio.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Let me turn off that tab. Give me just a second, guys. I got too many screens open here. Let me go to the agenda. I beg your pardon, but this little screen on this laptop is way too small. Okay. Here we are. So after the table topics, the Toastmaster returns. The timer, Elizabeth, please give us a report for table topic participants.
All table topic participants qualified. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we have an opportunity to vote for the best table topics speaker. So please, the ballot counter is Alicia. So now we have an opportunity to vote. So everybody, please use your chat function. Please send a private chat to Alicia, and please vote for your favorite table topic speaker.
May I bring something up real quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just in case, if we all vote for someone else and it's a tie, the ballot counter never shares that it's a tie. The ballot counter always breaks the tie and shares who the winner is, just to mention that.
I break the tie and decide what the winner is. Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, and we never share that it was a tie because then everyone knows you picked.
No, sure, it's secret, total secret, okay.
Hey, that's some new power. That makes the role of the ballot counter a lot more attractive now.
Do you know it's the same way even in speech competitions? It's across the board.
Well, makes sense. Someone's got to break the tie. Wow. And I don't think this will take that long. So
Okay.
I mean, we're not in a hurry. It's just that I think it makes sense just to pause and go ahead and wait for the ballots as opposed to going to a general evaluator, because once we do the general evaluator, that may take 2 or 3 minutes. So I'd rather go ahead and just wait for the ballot. Go ahead, Alicia.
Okay, the winner is Scott.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Well,
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Okay, the general evaluator, Elizabeth, please, would you provide your general evaluation?
Thank you, Toastmaster Livingston. I would like to call on the grammarian for their report.
Thank you, general evaluator. I must report that I'm not so sure the grammarian did a very good job today. So the word of the day was gregarious. Please tell me if I missed something, but I don't think anyone used the word of the day, including moi. So I don't think anyone gets credit for that. In terms of misuse of words, I did not hear a lot. I'm sure there are some that I probably missed, but I didn't write it down. Sorry, juggling too many things. The one thing I did think that I heard, I believe that Alicia used the word enumerate, and I believe she meant explain or elucidate. So I believe when she said enumerate, I think she meant elucidate, E-L-U-C-I-D-A-T-E, because it had to do with explain and expound. Right. Other than that, I didn't hear major misuses of words or abuses of the English language.
Thank you.
And again, guys, I'm juggling too many things today. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Livingston. I wanted to apologize. I skipped a section, and that is the evaluation of our speaker today. Therefore, I will begin the evaluation for the day. Alicia?
So you want us to help time you, or are you timing yourself?
I can time myself unless you would like to do it.
No. If you're set up, go ahead.
Okay. Alicia?
Yeah.
I'm evaluating you, and I would love to share with you how much I have seen your improvement. For example, when I've evaluated you before, I've commented on an item to work on, which is swiveling in your chair when you speak. And
Right.
I did not see any swiveling. I would like to start off the evaluation by congratulating you on working on the improving parts of evaluations. It is something that in Toastmasters, we as speakers need to do is take a look at each evaluation and incorporate what to work on for our next speeches. And you have done that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I felt the passion in your tone. I liked the part, think about your own life. By sharing that, it pulls in your audience and it keeps your audience focused on what you're saying and speaking about. I saw your hand gestures while speaking, which brought your full self into the speech, especially what I call basketball hands. A good speaker, when you speak, this is an appropriate space to keep your hands, and you are very good at hand gestures. It surprised me when I saw you sharing in your speech, which was an excellent part of speaking, is giving it 1, 2, and 3. While you were saying 1, 2, and 3, you weren't using your hand gestures. To challenge yourself next time, try using 1, or when you say first, second, and third, or 1, 2, and 3. That's a great way to use hand gestures when you're speaking about numbers. I felt that your hand gestures completed and it made you a very effective public speaker. I also felt that you may want to work on not saying or I felt that there was more eye contact during your speech about parts of the 1, 2, and 3. But when you became more involved and deeper into the subject is when I saw your eyes transition from the screen to down or to the right or left. And to challenge yourself, try staying focused on the camera. That gives the audience your full attention, just like you would like the audience to give them your full attention. Overall, your clarity and your vocal variety was very good. Your eye contact, you could use a little bit more of focusing on the camera. Your hand gestures were spot on. It gave the audience full contact and immersion of what you were speaking of, which gave the audience awareness a 5 on this evaluation. Your comfort level is very comfortable, as well as, since your comfort level is so comforting, the interest of the audience gives them full contact with your speaking parts. It was also very well researched. Overall, I felt this was a very good speech. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. A very good evaluation. Yes. I am going to consider all the points are all relevant. Absolutely. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Okay, so for the general evaluator, I think we're still working, Elizabeth.
Yes, I am. Now we're going back. After we've had the grammarian report, we're going to have a counter. Do we have an odd counter?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I have carefully noted everyone's use of their favorite word. Toastmaster Livingston, you used so twice. General Evaluator, you used one but and one so. Our speaker used one but, one so, and I tallied two I have to admit that I may have been a little engrossed in what people were saying, so I maybe not didn't catch all of them. But thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lemaster. That rhymes. The timer report for the evaluation, I qualified. Since there is only one evaluator, we will not be voting on best evaluator. And now I will provide an evaluation of the meeting as a whole. I felt our Toastmaster provided impromptu roles, and I especially liked how he presented the presentation in the beginning to share more information on Toastmasters. That was very well done. I liked how everyone here was prepared, not only prepared, but ready to take on more roles. I commend all the Toastmasters here today on showing up, being on time, being fully prepared, and fully engaged. I liked how we all participated in table topics. We all had an opportunity to speak and contribute. And that is my evaluation of the day. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Elizabeth. Toastmaster closing comments. Awards for best speaker, best evaluator, and best table topics. I think we've covered that. That's Alicia is the best speaker. Alicia is the best speaker. Elizabeth is the best evaluator. I was the best table topics today, which I was a little bit surprised. We had some fantastic table topics today. In terms of closing comments, as I was making that PowerPoint presentation, I realized that because of these online platforms that we literally have global reach. Again, if someone in Uganda or Zimbabwe or India or Pakistan or Afghanistan, or if they find League City online and if they want to join, there's nothing to stop them other than their language. But we've already mentioned, in fact, in our club meeting yesterday, officers meeting, would you talk about that very briefly, Alicia? Remember, I think you said there are 4 categories that you feel like our club is ideally suited, and one of the categories you mentioned, so if you'll take about 30 seconds to talk about those 4 categories, one of them was ESL learners. Would you talk about those 4 categories?
Yes, the 4 categories. Generally, Toastmaster is linked with this idea to go into a big American company and make a career there. But Toastmaster could be for a lot of more things. For example, 4 groups that I identified that would need Toastmaster to improve their future and their contribution are, first, young people that are going out of college. Young people is not like in the old days that they were so social. Most of them are, but there are others that are very introverted. This is the first group. The second group is in the other extreme, the old people that don't have abilities online, but they, our lifespan extended 30 years. So many people in their 60s or 70s are starting a new career, and they need the technological capabilities, the online resources, etc. Another group that I love is women. Women that were at home taking care of their children, etc., and they want to be reinserted in the labor arena. They need all this. It is the number 1 need that they have, the technology competence. And then people for whom English is the second language. that they can provoke the idea that it's impossible to do, to be a public speaker. A friend of mine told me that. He said, what do you want to do in the future? I say, I want to be a public speaker. And he said, that is impossible. Why? Because you have accent. So I don't want this message anymore. I want, and everybody can enrich their life with the contribution of people of other cultures. So they want to enter in our culture, and we need them to improve our service. These are the 4 groups. And if you allow me, I want to make a personal comment.
Okay.
Today is 25 years that I am in the United States.
Wow.
Or living in the United States. Yes, thank you. 25 years. Oh my gosh. So I am happy for this possibility. I could do a lot of things here in the States, and it's my country of election.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and thank you for telling us about those 4 categories, because I thought that was very poignant. And again, as we build our social media platforms, so Kelly's going to be working on that, Elizabeth's going to be helping with that, and I'm going to step up and I'm going to help build them out as well. As we build those social platforms, it'll be interesting to see how many people find our club online and that wish to participate. So for those who are seeing this recording, because we're going to put on social media, you're welcome to join our club. And if you fit one of those categories, you're welcome. If you don't fit one of those categories, we'll make another category just for you. With that, does anyone else have any closing comments as we wrap up this meeting?
I would like to take a picture so we can post this on our social media. If everyone's ready, on 3, I will take a quick picture. Let's see here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Say cheese. Toastmasters. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Does anyone else have anything they'd like to say in our closing minutes of the meeting today? There's nothing wrong with ending early. That way we'll make up for previous meetings where we ended a little bit late.
Right.
I would love to, just if we have time, to ask for everyone to log into our Facebook page and check in and say a quick comment about our League City Toastmasters on Facebook and share it on your page if you're able to. That's something that could help our club as well.
So,
there is a group on Facebook. This League City Toastmasters has a group.
So Elizabeth, help us out a little bit. You said go to our Facebook page, make a comment. Okay, I get that.
Well, check in first.
Check in, what does that mean?
Okay, when you go to your Facebook page.
Our Facebook page or League City Toastmasters?
Your Facebook. You go to your Facebook page.
Right.
And when you go to it, you can search League City, L-E-A, League City Toastmasters, and then you just check in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then when you check in, that's when you make a comment. And when you make a comment after checking in, it will post not only on your page, but to the League City Toastmasters page.
Ah, and that's all we got to do.
That's it. Simple.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I've never done that before, so today will be the first time.
Well, while you're at it, has everyone liked the League City Toastmasters page? Make sure you like it.
Okay.
We need everyone to like it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay.
And I'll post the picture there. And that's how you post, Scott, the video.
Well, I've got a question about that as well. So Elizabeth,
Okay.
if you can hang around just a couple of minutes,
Okay.
I think what we can do is go ahead and end this meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, let me stop the recording. How about that?
Okay.